Hello again everybody and welcome back to the channel. We're at Doha today and we're going to be doing a little real world flight across to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia with the Qatar Airways 787-10 with a heavy division mod. If you're tuning in for the first time, very warm welcome to you. Make sure you do click that subscribe button down below and come and join us in the live chat. Come and say hi. I'm not sure if a couple of people are joining us. Sim Update 5 is proving difficult, so a couple of folks are having some technical difficulties and crashed their desktops and things while they're trying to join us, and to be honest I'm not even sure if we're going to make it ourselves, so we're going to give it a go, see how far we can get. We're over there, stand Charlie 2, and we've got some freeware Doha Airport scenery on flightsim.to. It's not the best, especially up close, but from a distance it looks okay. Certainly better than default scenery anyway. Pushback's going to be an interesting one because we're going to be a straight push. We're sort of in this cul-de-sac here. And we've got a nice short-ish flight time today, about 2 hours end to end, so really cool. When we get to Jeddah, we've got the brand new DoubleT scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator for King Abdulaziz Airport. Ashley, there we go, yeah, so sad to hear. Tried 4 times, crashed the desktops each time. That's just, it's just not on, is it? It's not. Even the moderators on Microsoft Flight Simulator's Discord server were putting out comments saying that the update should clearly have never been released because so many people are having problems. And that says it all, doesn't it? We're in the heavy division mod. It's been patched by LAKMI, who is heavy division, and I think it's probably, if not the, certainly one of the most stable mods at the moment in the sim post-update. SimPilot, hello. Jay, hi to you. Fets, hello again. Ashley and David, both channel members there. Hope you guys are okay. Thanks for tuning in. Aviation Simulation, hiya. And GD, good afternoon. Meta in OTHH at the moment. Winds 140 at 9 knots, cav okay, 41 degrees Celsius, and a QNH of 996. We've got the Luke Air tool, and we've got some announcements to go through as well. So let's play the welcome announcement first. We'll go through bits of our route as that's going on there. I'll be in the background clicking through the legs page and things.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dan, hello.
Welcome on board Qatar Airways.
Hope you're okay.
As you find your seat, we ask that you place larger items in the overhead compartments and lighter sized belongings, including duty-free bags.
Pre-flight checks are all complete there. Cruise of 40,000 feet today.
Thank you.
That's my top tip for this. Take off minus 10%, and then climb mode 2.
Even if we have the seatbelt sign switched off.
HJ, hi, how are you doing? And Gigantic, hello to you. Yeah, it's
in the meantime, please make
basically I've removed everything that has not been patched or updated, so I'm hoping it's okay. The only scenery I've got installed are the 2 that we're using today, and apparently they're both working with this update. Flaps 10 for departure. We've got V1 of 127, V rotator 142. And there's our D-rated takeoff, flex of 68 degrees.
It is my pleasure to welcome you on board Qatar Airways.
The only thing that I've not tested is the pushback mod. So toolbar pushback up here, not tried it, so I'm not sure if it's going to be a problem.
Customers interested in joining our award-winning program?
Dave, hi. Finding update frustrating at the moment. Don't trust the sim enough to use VATSIM. Yeah, it's a real shame, isn't it? I really wanted, because I've had a couple of hours sleep, I've been on night shifts, I really wanted to join the Midsummer Madness at Birmingham. But I can't trust the sim, and I don't want to become a problem if the aircraft starts to bug out or crash the desktop or anything like that.
We would like to remind you to keep your personal valuables such as wallets, jewelry,
this route is in the pinned messages, the live chat for you guys.
As we consider your safety to be of the utmost importance, could you please give your attention to the safety video?
7 pages. And we've not got the arrival data in yet.
That smoking and use of electronic cigarette is not permitted anywhere on board this aircraft. We would also like to remind
Gigantic,
you to
awesome.
keep
What
your
route did you
personal
fly?
IDs, such as wallets, jewelry, and electronic devices.
Initial climb to
held for double
4,000 on the
time.
SID.
Thank you for your attention.
So on Navigraph, that's what our SID looks like today, departing 16 right. Heading south to Obfer, then a right turn at 4,000, max 250 knots, and then we're flying a downwind leg all the way up to Anelli, and then at Toucan we can then start climbing again. Al Nak have to be at 7,000 feet, and then at PATOM we're all good to continue, but we're probably on Unicom most of the way, if not for all of this flight, so this downwind leg I might just continue to climb up with a bit of an unrestricted climb.
Cabin crew, armed doors for departure and crash check.
Lovely. Sounds like they're ready. There's our position on the airport charts. We're going to put straight push, and then we're going to taxi Whiskey 1, Whiskey 4, Juliet, Sierra, Kilo, all the way down to Lima 11. Oh, yeah, I better write this down. I think I'm the only person here, but I still, out of habit, will announce my position reports. So Whiskey 1, Whiskey 4, Juliet, Sierra, Kilo, Lima 11 for runway 16. Right. Okie dokie. So, get rid of that. I've got Volanta up as well. Hopefully that is not going to cause us a problem. Beacon on, seatbelt signs are on. What else have we got to do? Right, pushback. I don't know how this is going to work. Cytheria, the thing is, Sim Update 5 has completely changed the way the sim operates, yeah. And that is the thing, they've changed probably about, I'm really worried about clicking this, about 50% of the base sim. Oh man, I feel weirdly nervous. I've updated this because it's recently been patched. Toolbar pushback. I also had Unreal Weather in the community folder. That is in need of a fix, but it doesn't work at all with the new sim update. So if you've got Unreal Weather at the moment, make sure you've deleted that from your community folder, and I think that might help save a couple of issues with in relation to crash to desktops. So get parker brake off. Birdman, good afternoon. Dan, I think the most terrifying thing about the update is that one day we will have sim update 6. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a horrifying thought, isn't it? Performance is great though. I've been able to ramp everything up really high. Right then. Feeling like a left engine start today. That's one thing I've not actually done yet, is delete rolling cache. Somebody was asking, what software do you use for the crew announcements? It's a free mod called the Luke Air Tool on flightsim.to. I can really recommend it. Peter, hi! Doesn't sound good, does it? Fingers crossed, in the near future you'll be able to join us, of course. Get rid of system because the APU is now cut out with that bug. Which way do I want to go? Ooh, not that way. And what pushback mod are you using? It's toolbar pushback on flightsim.to again. It's recently been patched, and it should be working well with this update, so fingers crossed. Yeah, this is Heavy Division's mod. Not the toolbar pushback, but the 787 itself is the Heavy Division's mod. As Gigantic's saying in the live chat just there, the toolbar pushback we're using is Ambitious Pilot's toolbar pushback. It's on flightsim.to. Right engine. Okay. Away goes the tug. I think there's probably, you know what I probably haven't done? Whacked fuel in yet. There we go. Holy Grail, hello. What Qatar livery are we using today? That's a really good question. It's on flightsim.to. It's the one with 5-star ratings, I think, off the top of my head. I downloaded it yesterday. A380, yes. One day that will be in Microsoft Flight Simulator, hopefully, for us to enjoy. They're probably the best bits, the models here, and the A350 there, probably the best bits of the scenery. And the freeware scenery actually also includes Doha off in the distance. Rightio. Safety demonstration as we taxi. Doha traffic, Qatar 1188, taxiing to hold point Lima 11 runway 16 right via Whiskey 1, Whiskey 4, Juliet, Sierra and Kilo. Doha traffic. Could do a flaps 5 departure to be fair, but hey ho. What mod is it showing that ground service is next to the jets? If it's the ones that are parked up at the moment, that's just part of the scenery itself, so the scenery developer's going to add those in.
Welcome aboard this Qatar Airways flight. Please pay attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. For your comfort and safety, we operate a non-smoking policy on board all our aircraft. Smoking in the toilet will activate a smoke alarm, and tampering with the smoke detector is a criminal offence. The exits and walkways must be kept clear of baggage at all times. Baggage should be securely stowed in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. For safety reasons, with the exception of handheld pets in flight mode, the use of electronic devices is not permitted for takeoff and landing. These devices must remain switched off.
Don't want to go too quick because this is a long safety demonstration. Put that in RTO. On the spoilers. That's a really annoying bug that I've noticed in the latest sim update. So if you notice there, I was drifting off the yellow line, and that's because I was using my right mouse click to look around the cabin. And what I found is when you're doing that now, it stops everything else working, so it freezes all the controls. Yeah, they've showcased the wingtips Ethera, but it's still probably about a year plus away. There's not too much that's been modelled at the moment, if I'm honest. I think they sort of like they wanted to show that there was some progress being made, but in reality, not much has been done yet.
In the unlikely event of an emergency landing, please adopt a brace position as shown on the screen. Your life jacket is either beside or underneath your seat. When instructed by the crew, remove it from its container and pull it
a wing view. That's a horrible amount of texture there. Not the best freeware scenery. It's got a nice crane though. Where is it? I can't remember my keybinds for this. Back fingers. There we go.
You can also inflate or top up the life jacket by blowing into the mouthpiece.
That's probably us going over the yellow line.
The life jacket has a whistle to attract attention, and a light that will automatically illuminate when in water. Infant life jackets will be distributed by the cabin crew.
It's a good question, GD. Yeah, I wonder how many are at Kemble.
The emergency exits are clearly marked and are located as shown on the screen. Escape path lighting will guide you to the emergency exit. In case of emergency landing on water, the evacuation slide will serve as well. Please remember to remove footwear before using the slide. To remind yourself
aviation simulation. Pretty much how it seems to go, isn't it?
which is in your seat pocket. And if you have any questions, our cabin crew will be happy to help. To help the cabin crew with final preparations for takeoff, please ensure your seat is in a fully upright position, your window blind is open, your tray table is folded away, and your seatbelt is fastened. Thank you for your attention, and enjoy your flight with Qatar Airways.
That's shorter than I thought it would have been. I think the sim itself is still probably the same, roughly the same size as a total package. But the thing we've got to bear in mind is that the sim we downloaded, was it 40 gig plus 20 gig the other day? Or something like that. But it's overwrote a significant portion of base code. So they have changed quite a lot in the sim, to be fair. Doing a little slalom. There we go. Plan is live, weather fixed. Really not sure actually. It seems to be for me. I haven't. Well, this is the first time properly flying since Sim Update 5 got released. So I'm not sure what's going to happen today with this. However, we're going to give it a go. Saudi 545. Who's that? If they've spawned here suddenly. See, from a distance, like I was saying a minute ago, it's not bad, that scenery. Except for that weird flickering texture there that's not quite right. The DoubleT scenery that we're going to, Jeddah, it's available on flightsim.to, and they were kind enough to send a copy for me to take a look at and offer my opinion. I've had a little look on Sim Market itself. It's about £30, which is really steep for a scenery, in especially for the Microsoft Flight Simulator market. But I mean, that's basically almost an Aerosoft CLJ, or 3 Mako Simulations Manchesters and a Birmingham from Mako Simulations. So 4 sceneries for the price of 1. And by comparison, the FSDG Seychelles that I've covered recently is it's about £20, I think it is, off the top of my head, without having checked. And effectively, the FSDG scenery for Seychelles is the entire island chain, so that you get 15 or 16 airports, including the main one at Mahé. You also get all the photogrammetry of the islands and everything else.
5, radio check.
Readability 5.
Readability 5, stop.
So it's going to be interesting because the Seychelles was genuinely stunning. Really did enjoy that scenery. It's a fantastic bit of scenery from FSDG. And the question that I've got is, the Jeddah scenery that we're going to fly into for £30, is it anywhere near that level? Is it FSGG? They're charging 20 quid for a hell of a lot, and similarly, Mako Simulations charges £9 for his entire Manchester Airport scenery, and it is exceptionally well detailed. SimPilot, thank you very much. Very kind. Thanks for super chatting. So we'll get there. I'll be honest. When we get there, if it's rubbish, you guys know I will say it's rubbish, and I will take value into account as well. So if they're charging a lot of money for default jetways and ground markings and things like that, then yeah, that's not acceptable for Microsoft Flight Simulator. You could have got away with it in previous simulators, days gone by, but certainly not now with MSFS. So we'll find out when we get there. Thank you very much. I mean, I've pitted this scenery against it. This is freeware, so we'll be able to look, you guys have had a good look at this, and you'll be able to see what you think and compare it against what we're about to go and look at. There's Doha in the distance. We'll be flying over towards that as well, so we'll get a good look. What's the theory? Yeah, for £30, there's got to be a lot included. I briefly had a look the other day, and I don't think there was that much included, to be honest. Who knows? Doha traffic, Qatar 1188 heavy via Lima 11 lining up and departing runway 16 right, PATOM 1 Charlie departure, Doha traffic. Yes, YK, do you know how to make views without spamming in all the Discord? The links of your video. What do you mean? I mean, I've got video tutorials to show you how to do it, if that's what you're asking. Extreme Paul, why don't you have installed the mod, the bar, and the no toolbar mod? Is that what you're referring to? Why have I not installed it? I think because I'm quite careful with mods. If it's stuff that's going to potentially, that I don't necessarily need, I would imagine that I risk causing more problems than I would like to by installing it. So I kind of just get used to trying to just pretend like it's not there. It's theory. Drzecki Designs Washington DCA is absolutely stunning, though. Probably some of the most incredible scenery I've seen. That's all ready to go. Switch those. Oh no, VNav arm. Yeah, VATSIM doesn't cover Xbox. Rock and roll. $80 knots. Rotate. Was it right? Go up. Where we go? Autopilot on. We'll let it do its thing. We're going to change the bank angle ever so slightly. Thank God for that, yeah. I don't think I would be on VATSIM either if that was the case. It's not that I'm against Xbox stuff, but it's just a different type of simming, in my opinion. If I wanted to just blat about, then I'd use Xbox. Wrong one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign will be turned off shortly. We recommend, however, that you keep your seatbelt loosely fastened at all times during the flight. If you're using a blanket, we kindly ask that you fasten your seatbelt over your blanket so it is visible. We invite you to browse through extravaganza or in-flight duty-free catalog, which is in your seat pocket. Our in-flight meal service will come in shortly. Please refer to your personal menu card for more details. If there is anything that we can do to make your flight more comfortable, please feel free to let us know. Thank you.
You can click the toggle button on the throttle now. That's awesome, I didn't know that. If you're watching in the background, guys, don't forget to give us a like while you're here, and remember to hit subscribe if you've not done so already. Come and say hi in the live chat. If you've got any questions about anything, then just ask away. You can disarm the spoilers. Thank goodness for keybinds. Christopher, yeah, people act surprised, but yeah, it's absolute chaos on multiplayer alone. And that was just with PC, let alone Xbox getting thrown into the mix. Apparently there's an issue at the moment with the fly-by-wire mod where you can't change your frequency on VATSIM, which is a bit of a problem. But this mod works absolutely fine. Love it. Yeah, so Theory, that's good to know, because I didn't think, I knew it was there, but I didn't think it worked, which is interesting. There we go. I thought we were getting close towards that turn now. So we're level at 4,000. We're flying along on that SID like we were talking about a little earlier on. PATOM 1 Charlie departure. So we're at Obver at the moment. Right turn to Soda, max 250 knots. That's what we're doing at the moment. Where's that? Settings. Which window view is it? That's the beauty. FB, you love the streams, really useful and informative whilst entertaining. Thanks very much, it's always nice to hear. Do enjoy it. I've only had 3 hours sleep today. Oh, Ashley, that's not good. There must be a mod issue somewhere. One of the mods that you're using must be triggering a problem. Touch wood, I've been okay so far. I've ramped a lot of the settings up to high and ultra now as well. Level of detail and things like that. Draw distance, I've pushed right up as high as I can. And performance wise, we're in the 787, and usually it was a bit of a hit for me. I've got my sim locked at 35 frames per second, and it is permanently stable at 35, and it is absolutely fantastic. So the mod, the performance update that we've all received in Sim Update 5 has been absolutely stunning so far. And this is the first full flight that I'm doing in the sim since the update, and you guys are watching it live, so. Birdman, why only 3 hours? You're working nights? I've been nights over the last 2 days, and so I've been running on sort of 3 hours sleep and being up for about 22 to 20 odd hours. So a little tired, but we're streaming tomorrow as well. But I just wanted to do this little route because it's quite a nice route with the scenery as well. I think we can continue climbing up. We're on that downwind leg, like I said. So cruise of 40,000 feet. Let's set that. Push to intervene. Up we go. We are clean on flaps. Engines are looking good. There's Doha coming up. Yeah, the promised performance is there, which is really good, but it's the stability of the sim that I think has just infuriated people this time around. I mean, it took me 3 days just to update the sim. I don't want to be spending 3 days trying to update the sim. I should, in theory, with my internet, be able to download it in about 3-4 hours. I think it literally, I clocked up 16 hours, I think it was, that I counted. Just pure like download time. And I'd rather take that time simming and making videos, or live streaming. MPS Gaming multiplayer on and AI on in options that don't like each other crash the desktop, so I turn multiplayer off and it works. See, that's interesting because I never fly with those settings on at all. So yeah, certainly interesting to hear that that is a bit of a solution. Let's try and get some screenshots, shall we, while we're in flight. Look at that. Oh, the scenery down below now is phenomenal. Having turned those settings up. The bit that we're just seeing now creep in is part of the scenery pack. It does look a bit too bright, but it is exceptionally hot there at the moment, so though it is coming towards the end of the day, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, the Xbox version is locked, isn't it? Juan, which version of the mod are you using? I tried the latest development version. It had a bug making the wings purple. So the Heavy Division mod hasn't got that bug attached to it. It's actually the liveries themselves have been affected by the update. So Asobo have changed something in the aircraft that has changed the textures on the wings. Whether they've changed the shape of the wing ever so slightly or something, it's caused a texture issue. So you have to basically delete the livery and then reinstall it. And if that doesn't work, there's a MSFS layout generator you can download, and you can run that to update the layout.json file inside the livery, and that might help as well. So this particular livery yesterday had pink wings, and it took me about 2-3 hours to try and work it out with help of Aviation Simulation and a couple of other folks in Discord that helped me get it all sorted. Forgot to turn the APU off, but that's because it was it shut itself down anyway because of the weird bug that it does. The popping of the scenery is not ideal, and the drone cam, when it tilts, seems to be tilting a lot more now, which I'm not a fan of. Ah, lovely. Polygrail, updated Premium Deluxe in the Content Manager in Dubai Airport is like the default version. I think Dubai was one of those aircraft, one of the airports that might have been included in the standard edition. So if you've upgraded to Premium Deluxe, you might have already had that airport scenery. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. Ah, the overlay's hanging again, brilliant. Oh yeah, you're correct. It seems to, it's odd. Indicated airspeed's working. We'll quit it and start it again, shall we? OTHH to OEJN. OEJN. Qatar 1188. There we go, how's that? All working again. Happy days. Abdul, I just hate the scenery now at high altitude. I mean, this looks pretty good. Let's go to that view there. I can't fault that, you know. It looks really realistic. Peter, Sim Update 5 for you, 14 hours to download, similar time to me, probably exhausted as well like I was with it. I have development A32NX that goes up and but not left and right. Wow. I'm guessing you've updated to the very latest sim, like the development branch version. I've not tried the A32NX yet, I've got to say. This has been updated, and I figured because this was so heavy on performance previously, I thought I would give this a go first. And there's a massive increase in performance with the 787. Jagdish, right? Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's not particularly great, is it? This livery. Sadly, it is the best one that we've got, the best one that is available at the moment. There's a Qatar World Cup livery on flightsim.to as well, but the textures of that are really blurry, so they've not been put on the aircraft particularly well, and they've sort of sacrificed the quality of it, so they look blurry and a bit pixelated. Chris, hello. Is this the Heavy Division mod? It is indeed, yes. This is the latest development patch. And you can download it for free on the Discord. If during the live stream, by the way, guys, you want links to things like the Heavy Division mod, just ask and I'll grab it from the Discord server, and I can get you the direct download link for the 787 mod. Salty Simulations have apparently patched their 747 as well, but I have read recently that a couple of people have still been getting crashed to desktops, and apparently there may be a link with that. With the old liveries for the 747, the ones that were mirrored. So apparently if you've got any of those, you've got to delete them and only have the brand new decal texture ones. Anyway, hello, I've basically had to uninstall and reinstall just to get rid of the altitude issue, and ATC asking me to either climb or descend. I think you'll never get rid of that, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, this is literally the best livery that we've got for Qatar at the moment, which is a bit sad. Hopefully, some of those livery wizards can do something. Because it does look good, you know, it has the potential to look great. Those realistic views, lovely. How are we doing? We're at PATOM now. So that's the end of the SID. I mean, the saddest thing from this update for me was the fact that Aerosoft are sort of stuck in a hard place as well, and they've basically said that the update has completely wrecked the CRJ, and Asobo have changed so much and not actually told people what had been changed that they don't know how to fix it, and they're waiting for Asobo to tell them the solution, basically. So yeah, my favourite aircraft in the sim is now pretty much unusable, sadly. Roland, good afternoon. Hope you're okay. Anubhav, I've used VATSIM pretty much all the time, only. We're at 20,000 feet now and climbing. Climbing slowly. It's not too bad, 700 foot per minute. I guess it's okay. That is going to be the altitude issue, the temperature thing, I think. How do we find that out? Sat 35 degrees. I mean, it is 60 odd degrees outside, so. Actually, loaded up at Manchester in 0 issues now, so bizarre. Yeah, good grief. That's really bizarre. It's a theory. I think Microsoft strong-armed Asobo for this one, and they've basically said we are releasing the Xbox edition on this date, no ifs, no buts. They've had to sacrifice us and our enjoyment of the sim for that deadline, I think. It's the only thing I can think of. The VATSIM altitude issue apparently had been reported back to Asobo by the beta testers. I think it was July the 12th, I'd been told. People started to notice the discrepancy in reporting it back. So they had 2.5 weeks to fix that, and they haven't. And that's because their focus was purely on Xbox, I think, which is disappointing. JD Schwar, I haven't tried Prepared, no. Is that GSX thing? Christopher Levin, exactly, and PC simmers are the core simmers, really. Yeah, you're not gonna get the same out of flying on an Xbox on a sim, I don't think. Though I've never tried it, I haven't tried the Xbox version, so I can't really say what it's like. But I just don't think you can get that same level of immersion or the sort of serious, you know, the so-called serious side of simming, if you like. Where are these views? On 0. Oh, there we go, fuselage. Belly shot. Matthew, awesome. It's I think GSX, they're working on it coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. New boy, if MSFS keeps getting updated like this, people won't release content and MSFS will die. I don't think it will go that far. However, the freeware community is massive in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and by them mothballing stuff all the time and in big updates, it's bound to happen, of course, but you're going to get some of those freeware developers are just going to go, you know what, I'm not updating this anymore, and then certain sceneries, airports, liveries and things like that will just stop being supported, and they'll fizzle away, to the detriment of all of us with our enjoyment of the sim. Matthew, flew around in my sim last night, looked good to me. Yeah, I mean this is looking fantastic. Right off in the distance there we've got a couple of high altitude clouds, and yeah, I can see those and they're not blurry on my screen. But I've been having major issues today, can't load any free flight. I've cleared the community folder and got all downloads. God, that sounds awful. Have you got anything in your community folder or anything installed in the official folder that you might have purchased from the marketplace that's not yet been updated? I wonder if there's something hidden away. Maybe like your rolling cache, for example. Might be worth clearing out your rolling cache if you use that, of course. Jay, the CLJ is okay for me. Just can't hit any of the center buttons. It's been more stable than the fly-by-wire, and the heavy 787 has been the most stable. Yeah, that's why I'm in this today actually, because I've heard it's been pretty good. So far we've not had any problems, touch wood. And it's working really well, as if it's not been affected by the update. Everything is working as it did pre-update, but of course if you've got the Heavy Division 787 you need to make sure you've updated to the latest dev branch post-update, otherwise it doesn't work. Dan, Xbox version's like an arcade game with no immersion, just people flying to look at their houses and crashing 747s. Yeah. Sums it up, doesn't it? Yeah, and their focus shouldn't be on that. It should be on the PC simmers that want the full amount of immersion. They want loads of extra scenery, add-ons and everything else, because there's a huge market for it. And as Cytherea was saying further up in the chat, flight simming is primarily a PC thing. PT, yeah, keep persevering. You'll get there in the end. Not sure what else to suggest, really. Matthew's got his X-Plane 11 looking so good now. I've been spending a lot of time in it lately. Yeah, for me to get X-Plane, well, there's a new X-Plane coming out soon, so you know, if I was going to get another X-Plane, I probably wouldn't bother. Probably wouldn't bother at all, actually. Until obviously the new X-Plane turns up, which might be really good. It might tempt me, especially if we then get another update that's botched with the Sobo. My whole channel, of course, is based on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let's get that download link for you. So if you want the latest Heavy Division branch, all you've got to do is click the link in the live chat. It's a direct download, so if you're on your PC, for example, click the link and it'll start to just download while you're watching the stream. And same as always, you just extract the folder and you put it into your community folder. Tech Team, it's so true. The developer of the amazing Gatwick has stopped now after all the sim updates has ruined his work. So he's completely given up. He was making Heathrow as well. Some of the best freeware scenery anybody has ever seen. So if he's given up because of the state of this update, then that speaks volumes. MPS Gaming, MSFS uses less RAM now, under 16 gig before. Before, for me, it was over 20 gig. Also, CPU uses all the cores up to about 40%, which is really good. Naturally, I think that's why Ashley in the live chat, one of our channel members, recommended to me a little while ago that I should lock my sim using the NVIDIA control panel. So I've gone in and I've locked it to 35 frames per second maximum. And what that's done is it's pretty much given my sim a fixed stability of frames. So instead of frames going up and down, then I think it's pretty much, even now, it's just solid at 35 frames per second. And that helps keep the sim nice and smooth and perhaps a little bit more stable as well. Aki, have I tried out the BN2? I haven't yet, no. If you've got a link, then pop it in the live chat or send it to us on Discord via our Discord server, and I'll have a little look at that. Heavy Division, Comey, hello. The mod was affected by Sim Update 5 much more than you think. Oh, of course. I mean, it would have been completely wrecked by the Sim Update. More reflecting on the fact that you've done really well at getting it patched really quickly. I know you're saying there it's, you know, large compatibility patch for the last 3 days. It's still not finished yet, but I've not, as an end user, I've not noticed anything out of the ordinary so far. I mean, obviously I've got to get it down on the ground at Jeddah if we get there. The only thing I'm noticing at the moment is this lack of ability to climb. Let's go back to climb 1, get more power out. Up we go. 24,000 feet, not too great. Christopher, there's a good comment there. X-Plane has the same problems that Microsoft Flight Simulator has, and it's like 30 years old. The add-ons are pretty bad. At least there's something happening. Something was happening for MSFS. Yeah, and it's still a brand new sim. Transport Gamer, you can download liveries on Xbox with a USB. I did not know that. That's pretty good. A bit cumbersome having to download them on a PC, put them on a stick it into your Xbox and drag it all across. But if you can do that, that's pretty good. At least they've enabled that. Because I had heard that it was going to be particularly locked down. Amit, somebody just got here. No problem at all. Welcome. Did you have to modify the livery because my Qatar livery is getting pink wings? So I deleted it and I downloaded it fresh from flightsim.to. Same with becoming airline pilot. Your 787 literally has pink wings. yeah, mine did as well. So this one I'm using had pink wings. I deleted it and then downloaded it fresh on flightsim.to. Hopefully that will fix it for you. New boy, can I get the 787 Heavy Division on the basic standard edition Microsoft Flight Simulator? Sadly, no. It's a premium deluxe only aircraft at the moment. Tom, hate when you go over 15,000 feet, ground goes blurry. It doesn't look too bad at the moment. I'm not noticing much difference on my end, but then I have turned the settings up to 2K. Where I was on at 1080p output on my screen before. Tech team quoted from the dev, the SDK is completely messed up, crashes at build process, lots of apron textures ruined, messed up. This is the end of the line for EJKK. It was great while it lasted. I see, that's really disappointing, and a lot of people had donated to him as well and sort of kept him going. So it's sad that he's just sort of thrown the can in and given up. Dean, hi. Watch your videos all the time. Learn so much. Good to hear. Hopefully you enjoy them all. If you feel like I might have missed any sort of particular tutorials, or if there's anything you'd like, then you can always ask, and I'll see what I can do. Oh, becoming airline pilot. I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. We're still climbing, so nobody noticed. Ah. Brilliant. Yeah, you can't. I can't either. So, just manually change it to 1013. There we go. Live weather issue, so you can't climb. Yeah, it does seem like that, doesn't it? I literally can't get, if I go onto the normal climb, the max climb profile, I literally can't get any more out of the engines at the moment. Blisk, is this a new version of OEJN? Because when I installed the first one, I crashed the desktop every time after spending too long in the airport. This was in the previous update. Yeah, it's a new version on Sim Market. At least the one I've got on my account, I've got 2 variants, and one of them says _new, so I've downloaded that one. Yeah, TAT is, yeah, it is very high. We had a little look on the climb earlier. It was 40 odd. What was it now? Where's my mouse gone? 69 degrees now. I don't know where my mouse cursor's gone, but I've noticed if your mouse cursor disappears, reset your view. So click into a different custom view setting, and it comes back again. Little tip. Abdul, look at the ground now. So well, it doesn't look much different than it did before. I can still see sort of like the ridges and the textures over there. Oh, it's not fantastic, but I don't think it looked any different to how it did before. Certainly not worse. Yeah, loads of people on our Discord. Kai, for example, always gets crashed to desktops in X-Plane, and it's been around for years. So Birdman's summing it up. Yeah, this is the first time I've had that ISA deviation bug, to be fair. But I've also heard live weather can cause crash to desktops if you turn it off and start changing settings and things. So I'm kind of a little bit. I don't want to commit to turning that off. Sergey, trust me, when you see this scenery, you'll want to delete it. A waste of space in the community folder. See, that's interesting because we were talking about it on Pushback and Taxi actually as well. We've literally got, it's £30. Birdman, I don't think I did. Yeah, £30 for this scenery, so it's, you know, but it's got to be good. Bearing in mind Mako Simulations Manchester is £9.99. The entire FSDG Seychelles, which is 15 or 16 airports, and I think 18, 19, 20 islands, all added in manually, that's 20 quid. So it's got to be good, otherwise it's just not going to be worth it. If it's not worth it, I'll tell you guys, don't bother. The Doha scenery, it's free, wasn't that great though. Is there any workaround for the ISA deviation bug outside of me busting live weather off? I could get rid of live weather, and then once I get to cruise I could turn it back on again. Mad Max, what is my PC settings? Oh, I can't remember my custom commands now. So there, for 30 books it better be the entire country. Century Media Films, that's interesting to know. So I've got LOD on about 150, I think. I don't know if I should turn live weather off. Let's try it. What we'll do is we'll get up to climb, and then do I turn it back on again? We'll get up to cruise, I should say. I agree if that's giving us a right shoot up there. 787 seems to be undershooting turns. So what I have noticed is the bank angle. It now goes to 30 degrees. It's one of the known issues with the mod itself. The bank angle actually goes to 30 degrees like it should, but the mod isn't yet set to that. So when you hit to 30 degrees, you then get the bank angle warnings. So do bear that in mind. So what I do as a little workaround for the time being is I bring it back a notch, so the max bank angle is about 25 degrees instead. So hopefully that helps a few of you guys. Contrail's fantastic. MPS Gaming, love Contrail. Great scenery shop. Not a massive fan of Sim Market myself because it's full of absolute tat. Some of the worst mods for Microsoft Flight Simulator are on there. Some of them shouldn't even be free, but they're on Sim Market. Mohammed, welcome, lives in Jeddah. Awesome. So hopefully you'll be able to tell us what you think of the scenery. We are a quarter of the way there already. Making some good progress. We are finally blasting up towards cruise. Hopefully they patch Unreal Weather fairly soon, because then at least you can use that. Question is, do I put it back onto live weather when we get to cruise or not? Adrian, I can't start the APU or use external power on the 787. I use toolbar pushback to connect the GPU. When did you last update the 787 mod, out of curiosity?
Bank angle.
There we go. That is a little demonstration of what happens. So it now goes to 30 degrees, which is really good, but don't want it to. APU started absolutely fine for me today, but I had made sure I updated it again just before the stream, the 787 Heavy Division mod. So yeah, the marketplace, I'm not a fan of the in-sim marketplace either, to be fair. Yeah, there's quite a few critics of that. This route in real life, by the way, is operated by an A350, but of course we don't have any of those yet in the sim. Let's see how blurry this is now. I mean, you can literally see the tile there. It is not great, and there's literally another tile there, big old square, big juicy square for us to look at. Adrian, can't find a download link. There you go. Nacho Cat, hello. Adrian, make sure you check the live chat then, it's there for you. I've just popped the latest dev direct download link there for you. Bob Black in Perth, welcome. Hope you're okay. Good evening to you. Matthew, the working title G1000, that's the NXI one, isn't it? In the marketplace is top notch. There we go, Monty, as I was explaining earlier, Heavy Division's put that explanation into the live chat as well, about the bank limit angle. So make sure it's not set to 30. Put it to sort of 25 at least, as a maximum. That's your cat. Very good, thanks. It's going well so far, actually. Surprisingly, I thought we would be absolute carnage and we'd be clinging on for dear life, but yeah, we're okay. As MPS Gaming saying though, with the pressure bugs and everything else that's going on at the moment in the sim, there's a huge issue with altitude deviations, and there's been some sort of radar discrepancies. So we're at 40,000 feet now, for example, but if we were on VATSIM, as we are at the moment, it might, on their radar scope for a controller, say to them that we're at like 37,000 feet. So they'd be telling us to climb, even though we're actually at the correct altitude. So that's a really annoying bug that Sobo seem to be struggling to fix. I mean, it sounds like we're expecting a hotfix next week, a hotfix of the hotfix, which is madness. Jax, SimConnect work now because I don't want to do a flight without Navigraph or Sim Toolkit Pro. My Navigraph's working okay at the moment, and Volanta seems to be working for me, and FlyLive Studio, which is the toolbar that you guys can see at the top. All of those seem to be working okay at the moment, and they all use SimConnect, so fingers crossed. Matthew Bamber, hello. Not seen this aircraft in flight before. How's it going? Really good, thanks. That's a really annoying new thing that's come out of Sim Update 5. There's like the drone camera just starts to tilt itself constantly every time you turn. Yeah, it's going really well. Probably my second favourite aircraft in the sim at the moment, actually, it's got to be said. CLJ, absolute top whack, love it. And I'd probably say then the Heavy Division 787 mod is my second favourite at the moment. There she is, all a glory with some contrails in the background as well, love it. Navisim, hi. All the TBM cockpit mods are not working either. Damn. I've not flown the TBM very much. To be fair, perhaps I should. We've got a channel livery of the TBM which looks absolutely stunning. Right, let's see what happens. Please don't break. Please don't break. Don't do it to us. Why are we diving down? . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . That's bizarre. Look at that. Come on. So we've lost 1,000 so far. Bob back, yeah, this is the heavy division mod. Come on, we're almost there, so it's got to be. Oh.
Been away for some while, hopefully everything is going well.
David, hi. Thank you very much for your super chat. It's going well so far, but you can see here the bug with the altitude at the moment. I'm not sure what it's doing at the minute. It is not enjoying that though, is it? Let's recycle VNav and just wake it up. I mean, apparently we've got a negative vertical speed according to that, but we've got a positive vertical speed according to that, and the fact that the altitude's going up slightly. We'll just see what happens though for a moment. Tom, just updated the 787 mod and none of the buttons work. Have you updated it properly? And make sure, of course, you've downloaded the old one as well. So make sure you delete the old one, I should say. Oh, look at that for speed, 220 knots. 70 degrees, just ridiculous, isn't it? How could DeSobo get that so messed up? But, on a positive note, those clouds look stunning. Like candy floss. Hello Wesley, resident critic, how are you doing? Etty Gaming is live, weather broken again. Yes, TAT's now 71 degrees Celsius. Madness, isn't it? Christopher, mad, 150 foot. Well, what's going to be interesting here is going to be how the aircraft holds that now with speed, because we're almost 30 knots slow. David, good grief, 3 months. Turn the PC on now, loads of updates. Oh, you might. You're going to wish you waited another month, I think. Etty Gaming, been trying to start a flight in MSFS for the last hour. I'm just getting constant crash to desktops, and yesterday everything worked fine. Check your rolling cache. Matthew, I think that's part of it. I think Meteo Blue aren't able to keep. I reckon Meteo Blue are struggling with the nav source into Microsoft Flight Simulator, but then every time there's a sim update, I think Meteo Blue are struggling to recode that. Matthew, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Yeah, and we've all been exceptionally patient. Oh, Matthew says it all, doesn't it? Used to get your flight planning weather from Meteo Blue, the keyword being used to. Yeah, they were probably the cheapest weather source company for Microsoft, so they went with them. Sobo's probably sweating the biggest platform's completely broken and confused as to what happened. Well, actually, there was a comment on the Microsoft Flight Simulator forum that I was reading last night while I was at work on night shift, and it was I think Matt from Working Title that basically had come out saying that they thought they'd fixed a load of stuff, but the moment the update went live, it became apparent very quickly that what they thought they'd fixed hadn't been fixed, and they weren't sure why. And they were sort of scrambling around trying to find a fix for it. It's holding the altitude really nicely, but it is incapable of holding speed. We are literally full throttle. and then that makes me worry about fuel flow. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. The three amigos. Bob Black, what does your folder look like? It should say B787XH-main, I think, as a folder. Make sure it's extracted, of course, and put into your community folder. And make sure if you've got the old version, which was the old WTFMM POC branch, make sure that's deleted as well, of course, and any other mods for the 787 that you might have. Actually, I think perhaps, yeah, the geographical issue might be the case. When we departed Doha, the weather was 41 degrees Celsius on the ground, and I think the sim then just doesn't know how to handle that. Do I think, Atlantic Aviation is asking, do I think another hotfix will come out? Yeah, I do, sadly. I think there's going to be a hotfix to the hotfix. David, nice. Just had a massive life change while I've been away for some time. MSFS still buggy, but hey ho, need to get back into it again. Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I mean, this is the first time I've been flying it for a week and a bit now since the update. The update experience for me was horrendous. But it's nice to be flying it again. And actually, I mean, touch wood again, we've not had problems so far, except for the ISA deviation, causing us many problems with speed and altitude and climb. Ali, America, welcome. There we go, Bread. Altitude was shown correct on VATSPY while you were in clear skies. That was with like just a standard pressure of 1013. Now it says flight level 390, so that shows that the VATSIM discrepancy is not fixed, because we're at 40,000 feet at the moment, barely able to hold our speed, and it's telling us that on VATSIM it thinks we're at 39,000 feet. MPS Gaming, yeah, if you got anything from Megapack days, I'd probably delete all of those now, to be fair. Give up with the Megapack. Just use flightsim.to. 787 liner, I think the 747 Salty Simulations mod got patched the day of the main sim update 5. I've heard the patch yesterday or the day before has caused some issues, so I'm not sure. I know one of the lads in our Discord server was saying earlier today that he was just getting constant crash to desktops with his 747, but I have read that that's down to some of the liveries. If you're using some of the older liveries that had like the mirrored textures, then it'll break. What's the aeroplane doing here? Come on, capture the line at least. Gigantic did an approach to Copenhagen yesterday with the Heavy Division 787. Awesome. Flies really well, doesn't it? Path's asking, do I use PAC-X? No, I don't, sadly. I've got the Luke Air Tool, which is nice and easy to use. It's free. It's got some really good announcements on it. But I don't worry about what's going on in the cabin behind me, really. Yeah, I mean, at this rate, I think probably a hotfix for the hotfix might also need a hotfix. so who knows. Has live weather had any progress? Not yet, no, sadly. Oh, look at that air temperature. Plus 70 degrees at 40,000 feet. I mean, come on. Jax, yes, that is the dev branch. So, I say dev branch, it's just sort of one that gets updated regularly and all the time. It used to be a branch called WTFMM OPC or something, but now it's a it's just 787-main. Oh, Riyadh is on our right-hand side. Probably not going to be able to spot it now. Oh yeah, that's blurry. Look at that. I'm guessing it's through the cloud. Oh no, we've already... It's back there somewhere. We've already gone past it. David, awesome, yeah. Hopefully everything works out tomorrow. The new scenery tomorrow for Heraklion by Just Sim looks really good. And it, again, works with Sim Update 5, so happy days with that. Got a nice route tomorrow actually with Wizz Air. Just hoping the Fly-by-Wire mod actually works properly. Yeah, we can try a descent. We'll do 36,000. Matthew's super excited for the Fenix A320. Oh, me too. That's going to be fantastic, isn't it? Really looking forward to that. It's going to be worth every penny, I think. Yeah, properly hyped for that. I don't know how quickly they're going to get it done, or you know, how well it's going to be, or how quickly it'll be finished. But yeah, really hopeful. I'd love to be part of their beta team. Path, do I fly the A320X? I do indeed, yes. We've got. I've been on their testing team actually since the very beginning of the project back in August. End of September actually, I think middle of September I joined them as a quality tester, and ever since then I've done about 200 PRs I think of tests in that time, though I've got to say I've not done many recently just because I've been quite busy with real work and also flying mods like this that I really enjoy. Tech team today flew Paris to Birmingham, did around 20 minutes of hold there, just got short finals around 1,000 feet and the game crashed to desktop. Ah, that is really annoying. Ali, flying one of your favourite airlines. Awesome. Oh look, we've turned so it's tilted. That's a really annoying bug. Yeah, great airline. Never flown them though. Pretty much always just fly British Airways myself. Doctor on board. Ground temperature with a TAT of 70 degrees is 120 degrees Celsius. Oh, that's horrendous. Imagine if your air conditioning failed. For those of you who might want to head to the Heavy Division Discord server, you can get all the latest updates from the team there, the download links, and you'll be able to see progress and things like that as well. Check the links in the description. Check the live chat actually, I'll put it in there. So let me just generate a link first. You guys can click through to the Heavy Division Discord. Chris did a flight in the Fly-by-Wire yesterday, no bugs his end, so that's good to hear. Fingers crossed for tomorrow then. I know the CRJ's really screwed up, and which is really tragic. I kind of feel sorry for Aerosoft as well. And I know the DC-6 has had problems with PMDG, which I haven't flown that for a while as well, but I really enjoyed that. Matthew, what was the scenery or airports you recommend? I've only got the EGKK airports, so I don't know much else. Mako Simulations, Manchester and Birmingham. They are fantastic. Mako Simulations Birmingham is about £9.99. Stunning scenery. And similarly, the Mako Simulations Birmingham, which is again equally really very good, it's I think £8.99. So incredible price. Really good price. And you get a hell of a lot for your money as well with that. I would also recommend the Mykonos that we flew into the other day. Drzecki Designs Washington DCA is beautiful, and their new Krakow scenery as well, which we're going to be going to tomorrow. That is stunning too. Matthew, saw a change in passengers this week. Matthew, by the way, is a real CRJ pilot. The majority of them wearing business casual clothes, so it would appear business travel is starting to come back. That's really good to hear. Great for the airlines. Which is nice because the leisure travellers who have never flown before can get quite frustrating. Brilliant. Ali, I haven't, no. Chris, cockpit noise seems much better these days. This is the FT Sim sound pack for the 787, so it's pretty good. So we've descended to 36,000 feet, and Luke has spotted us on VATScope at 35,000 feet. So again, that's that altitude discrepancy again coming into play, which is really not very good. TAT's now 72 degrees. Just a Veteran, Ostend, eBOS in Belgium, free to download on flightsim.to, payware quality regional airport. And you know what, you've just reminded me actually, there is a Brussels airport on flightsim.to which looks incredible, and I need to check that out. It looks really, really very good. It's got 5-star reviews. It's a work in progress, but it looks stunning. It looks pretty much bang on what Aerosoft are creating at the moment with their payware version. Swap, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Microsoft should compensate everybody for the update and give us marketplace gift cards. That'd be great. FB, the Just Fly arrows are a mess as well. Yeah, I was in one the other day. Every time I tried to turn the parking brake off, it reapplied itself. So I didn't get very far. And I ended up manually having to click it and hold it down so I could just take off. And the second the wheels left the runway and I moved my mouse away, the park brake came straight back on again. So needless to say, I didn't even bother landing. I just quit out on that flight. Just a Veteran, will download the freeware version, move the payware version away somewhere, and compare the two and see. It'd be interesting to know if you've already got a payware Brussels, which one that you think is better. Silent Flights, God bless modders. If not for the sim, if not for them, this sim would be a mess. Nail on the head there. The freeware scenery, or the freeware community for Microsoft Flight Simulator is like nothing we've ever seen before in any sim. And yeah, people like Comey at Heavy Division, the Flabberwire team and everything else, just absolutely stunning. Incredible work. How are we doing flight-wise? Let's have a look at Navigraph, shall we? Go away, ring camera. There we go, we're halfway already. Buzzing along. So, we want to have a quick look at METARs. And winds are 220 at 6 knots. Temperature's 39 degrees Celsius and the QNH is 1003 there. So, we can get rid of that. We can go... we want the Venom 1 Papa arrival, and we want the ILS runway 16 left. So it's going to look like that. Open charts list. We've got to find the Venom 1 Papa. There it is. PP Face, welcome aboard. Ola Congo, welcome aboard as well. Thanks for subscribing, guys. There we go. So we're going to come in via VEMEM as we make our way into Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. On the VEMEM 1 Papa Star, the standard arrival route. And you can see at the bottom here, it says on JDW radial of 53 inbound, turn right along the 13 DME arc to Atora. In case clear to hold from VEMEM. On JDW 053 radial inbound, then turn right along an 18 DME arc to JDW to Meetab and hold. So, there's a hold at IMDAP if it was busy, but if we needed to hold, we would have to break off and fly an 18 DME arc out to Meetab and hold there, and that's on a radial of 335. But it's going to be clear, so we're going to descend down via IMDAP down to Atora. And then at Atora, we're then going to continue round for final approach, which is going to be ILS runway 16 left. So we're going to come in via Atora, which is there. Max 210 knots at 3,000 feet apparently. Or we could come in via Meetab actually. You know what? I'm going to come in via Meetab. There we go. So I'm going to see if I can program the 18 DME arc instead. Because we're a big aeroplane. So we'll see if we can do that instead. And then from Meetab we're going to then vector in and then establish on finals at 12.5 DME at 2,000 feet. We've got a couple of frequencies there, so we've got a Jeddah JDW VOR, we need to tune that of course, and we've got the ILS as well as 109.7. And decision height of 220 feet, MDA. UV face, are passenger gates invisible for anyone else? Not for me, no. However, I have read that you need to turn up your object level of detail setting to a value that's above 100 in order to be able to see it. LAQED, hello to you, hope you're well. I'm really well, thanks for asking. Reinstalled Microsoft Flight Simulator, nothing in my community folder, and when I'm in the menu for 2 minutes it crashes by itself. I have a high-end PC, any idea? Thanks. Oh, you've literally reinstalled the entire sim and you've got nothing there, and there's still something bugging out. I'm really not sure. Have you tried clearing a rolling cache in case you've got like a rolling cache folder that's still sat in the background after you've uninstalled? Swamp's off to Cornwall for 10 days tomorrow. Lovely. Awesome part of the country. The patch hasn't fixed any live weather issues sadly, or crash to desktops, but touch wood, we've not had a CTD today. Matthew, yeah, that's not good. You don't want to be dealing with people like that. People like that shouldn't be allowed to fly, just in general, to be fair. I think they should just be offloaded and that's it. Oh, look at that. Oh, the TAT's fixed. We've got live weather back. Oh, I was looking at the 16C chart, wasn't I? Thanks, Ashley. Yes, it's the same VOR, but the ILS frequency is different. And minimums is 234 feet for a Category D aircraft, exactly, bizarrely. But everything else was the same. Intercepting in the glide slope. Establishing at 11.5 DME at 2,000 feet, but then at RAPSO we have to be at 1,700 for final approach. 5 miles from the airport. Do I think that Microsoft Flight Simulator is now modelled on Ryanair, still crashing? I think they've taken a leaf out of Boeing's book with the 737 MAX. Birdman, AI and multiplayer, yes, still an issue apparently. LAQED, how can you clear the cache? It's in settings. I can't remember how. I'd show you, but I don't want to risk destroying the sim while I'm flying. We'll do that via MITAV, and we want VMS 1 Papa. Lovely. Top of descent there, look. In fact, on the charts, where do we have to be for the actual star? Doesn't actually give us any guidance at all for altitudes. I'm going to say 4,000 by MITAV, I think. That's probably reasonable. We'll aim for a continuous descent. What's in legs actually? I wonder if I've got any nav data in here. Ooh. Glad I noticed that. VEMEM to CAPAV, IMDAP, and then 053 radial. MITAV, ASMOS, RAPSO. So at the minute I'm just looking at the charts to make sure it looks like it should. Ah, there we go, ASMOS, beautiful. So ASMOS at 2000. There it is, above 2000. It says happy days. And then we've got missed approach data as well. So missed approach, fly that heading and hold at IMDAP. And LNAV will take care of that for us. It's nice to have the performance of the aircraft back as well. Happy days. Etty Gaming, have you... I know there's been some mods in the past where you've had to replace folders from inside the official folder. Have you downloaded anything like that that might be causing a crash to desktop? Randolph, hello. Hope you're okay. Live weather's working for us again now. We're blasting over towards Saudi Arabia. Could probably go back up to 40,000 feet now, to be fair. Steve, feel like if it wasn't for the likes of Labois, Heavy Division and Salty Sim, this game would just be ignored, especially with only one good payware aircraft with the Aerosoft CRJ, considering this game has been out nearly a year. Yeah, you can see a lot of people are at the point where they're just getting tired of the problems with updates. Usually for me, I've not had, so far at least, a really bad experience during an update, except for Sim Update 5, and I've never experienced anything like it. Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm still at flight level 360, so that's interesting. So the TAT's normalised to -7, and on VATSPY we're at 36,000 feet. Yeah, obviously the discrepancy is still there. Because VATSPY shows us at 38,000 feet almost. So there's a 2,000 foot discrepancy now. Performance. Cruise altitude 360, that's good. That means it's sorted itself out there. Recognised a new cruise altitude. Loads of fuel left. Are we even burning fuel? Oh yeah, we are. 9,000 kilograms left. Ooh. I think that massive amount of performance we use, we're pretty much on full power for about half a sector. I think that's destroyed our fuel performance a little bit. But with the Nix, hi. How you doing? Prince is back, tuned in again after taking a 30-minute break. Glad to see we're not climbing. Yeah, thank goodness. I thought we were going to be stuck at 26,000 feet for the entire duration. Just a veteran, your friend was on an update loop and wasted 2 terabytes of data. Oh, never heard anything like it. That's horrendous. Feel sorry for him. Yeah, Etty, as you're saying there, I mean, the performance in the update is exceptional. I haven't left 35 frames per second, and that is the maximum that I've got the sim able to be set at. So I've got it locked at 35, and it's just staying at that, which is wonderful. Thanks to Ashley's advice in the chat, setting a fixed frames per second limit. Matthew, I agree. I'm of the exact same opinion and sort of level of perseverance. Even with all the bugs, I prefer it to any other sim personally. And I wholeheartedly agree with you. The graphics are still like nothing else we've ever seen, and the mods get patched pretty quick as well. Gigantic, yeah. The quality of the clouds at time of release was crazy, wasn't it? They were like they went through a phase of being really pixelated, didn't they? And now, I mean, look at that right off in the horizon. Stunning. Wow, good luck with that. I don't think they. I can't see them ever apologising, sadly. You know, touch wood so far, we're having a successful first flight in Sim Update 5. Love that cloud. We're going to have to put in arrival data soon as well. And remember, with the 787, I always try to descend and land with flaps 25. So when you're setting up for your final approach, I never use full flaps. So I use one stage less. And what that does is it gets rid of some of the ground float. So it means you can sort of touch down kind of smooth. And I do the same actually in the Salty Simulations 747 too. Just that final stage of flaps seems to just let the aeroplane balloon quite crazily. And so by not using it, you're flying in a lot quicker. Probably about 6-7 knots faster, your final approach, but you don't get that ground float, so you can kind of try and nail the touchdown a little bit more. FB, notice that if you pause the game with the fly-by-wire mod, when you go back in, the thrust gets set to max. Oh dear. Gigantic, they downgraded overall quality due to Xbox limitations. Yeah, which it shouldn't happen. There should be a separate package for Xbox users. Oh yeah, we should be able to get whatever graphical performance we want. But at the moment, the view out of this window is pretty awesome. So I can't fault it. Graphically, the sim is so far ahead of all the others as well, to be fair. Fun with the Knicks, Salty just released an update, right? I haven't tried it. I wouldn't know. Let's have a look at their Discord. No, I don't think they have. I know they released a patch on update day. Yesterday at midnight was the last commit. But it was those hideous pilots that sit in the cockpit thing, which I'm not a fan of personally. Birdman, no, the A32NX, I will use whatever flaps I need, so I will routinely use full flaps with the A32NX, but that's because it's also a they've modelled the flaps and slats and the lift variants and the flap scalers and all this other stuff really accurately, so you don't have to worry about that too much. But if I'm flying in on with the A321X, if you're flying into somewhere like Heathrow, for example, really long runways, you should try and plan to vacate at a certain time. So you'll see me regularly use flap 3 approaches, and there's 3 different things you've got to do for your flap 3 approach in the Airbus, and I'll do that so that we're flying it a bit quicker, but it also means that I can get off at the high-speed exit halfway down the runway at Heathrow, and it allows for maximum utilisation of the runway, for technical term. Good question though, Birdman. Matthew, yeah, completely agree there. There's no reason to tie Xbox code and PC code together. Leave them as 2 separate things. Jax, what Qatar livery are we using? Oh, we've turned again. Drone cam is really annoying now. Constantly tilts. But there we go, just the standard one. Matthew, really good question. Is this a payware aircraft we're flying now? So it's the Premium Deluxe Edition Asobo 787, but it's got the it's actually got the a freeware mod called Heavy Division applied to it, which is really good. Big Sam TV, hello. We've got the Premium Edition, Premium Deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that includes the 787. And then on top of that, you download the additional Heavy Division mod, like I was just saying. So is everybody's MSFS broken then? I mean, we've been flying for a little while now. We've had a couple of issues with live weather, but apart from that, we've not actually, touch wood, had problems yet. I mean, there's still plenty that could go wrong. I'll be fuming if I get a crash to desktop now and we're getting close. Matthew, yeah, I think you're right there, because people have been saying, they've been complaining that some of the scenery is popping, and that's, as you're saying there, that's because they've entirely changed the way level of details work, or LODs. Dan, hello. Yeah, thanks. Glad I got the sim going. Yeah, so am I. Do you know how to fix checkered wings that I showed you? So somebody asked earlier on as well. This livery that we were using the other day, when I was trying to create the thumbnail for this, I had pink wings. I had to delete the livery entirely, and then I re-downloaded it brand new, fresh from flightsim.to, and installed that, and it was fine. Matthew, yeah, what? Don't be tempted into upgrading to Premium Deluxe. It's not worth the 80 quid that Microsoft want to charge us. But as Big Sam's saying there, yeah, the only way to get this 787 is to have Premium Deluxe Edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you don't have Premium Deluxe, don't upgrade. It's about £80 to upgrade to get it, and it's absolutely not worth it, because there is a Quality Wings 787, a payware aircraft, around the corner, and it's going to be the same price, if not slightly cheaper, than the upgrade to Premium Deluxe. So you're better off, if you just want the 787, you're better off waiting for that. Thomas, do I have Mode C problems? No, Mode Charlie's working on the vPilot client. Certainly okay. The only thing we're getting is issues with the actual radar altitude on VATSIM and things. I think we're at about 2,000 foot difference at the moment. Matthew, no problem at all. Yeah, I'd rather people not waste money on stuff that's yeah, they don't need to spend money on. It's crazy that they're charging £80 to upgrade to Premium Deluxe. Monty, the complaints of blurring I find a bit funny. When you're 30,000 feet up in the air in real life, it does get a bit blurry with bright heat and pollution. Yeah, and sheer distance. Yeah, the eye can't focus on fine detail at such a high altitude. I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. I mean, That is perfectly fine for me. Imtiaz, when do we start our arrival? The ETA is at the top of your screen. We are almost at top of descent, so we're going to be starting our descent soon. Matthew, you check out my tutorials then. I've actually done a tutorial playlist for this mod. Although you don't have the 787 actually, so don't worry. Don't worry about that actually. The Airbus is good. The CRJ is a whole other level. I absolutely love that. So I'm kind of sad that Asobo have completely broken that add-on. About 75 miles now to top of descent, and I'm going to try and go for a continuous descent to 4,000 feet. Fenix A320, GD's looking forward to that as well, same. That's going to be stunning, it's going to be so good. OEJN, so winds at the moment and the latest METAR, although I think that's going to change in about 2 minutes, so I'll wait, I'll get the METAR in a second. YT Thunder, what's the specs? Have a look in the live chat, and hopefully, if I've got the command correct, Nightbot will put all of my PC spec in there for you. And I've now ramped all of my settings up to high and ultra. There we go. As a bit of a guide. Oh, there's some weird flashing there. PT, yeah, we're okay at the moment. Fun with the Nix, is it worth it to buy the CRJ? Oh, I absolutely love that aeroplane. And I never thought I would appreciate regional jets. I'm all about bigger and big aircraft like the 787, and for me the bigger the better. But that CRJ, there was a couple of flights while I was getting used to it and sort of battling it and trying to think far enough ahead, but you sort of start to learn all the systems and you start to plan further ahead than the aircraft is thinking, and the fact that you've got to manage the throttle manually yourself because there's no auto throttle, I absolutely love it. And for the CRJ, I've developed a load of tutorials on the channel. So there's a dedicated playlist for the Aerosoft CRJ on this channel, which you guys could all check out. And there's a new set of 3 episodes that I've recorded recently. And it will take you through a full flight across the 3 episodes. Basically everything you need to know to have a successful flight and enjoy it. And sort of appreciate how good the CRJ is. $160. I'm going to do a quick little altitude Dewberry. What are we at now? 290. We'll do 210. Saying like we need 90 miles, 1,800 foot per minute to achieve 4,000 foot. 4,000 feet. Peter, am I going to do a Mykonos landing? Oh, I hope not. I really hope not. Big Sam TV, yeah, nobody makes an A380 payware aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator yet. There's a bit of a Frankenstein version that you can download somewhere, but I don't recommend using it. I haven't seen anybody fly an A380 on VATSIM yet. I think you'd get some strange looks. Fly-by-wire are creating one though. It's probably about a year and a half away. Waiting for this next METAR to refresh. So a little reminder, we're flying into the new DoubleT Jeddah Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator, King Abdulaziz Airport. It's £30 on Sim Market, which I personally think is exceptionally expensive. I don't know how good it is. I briefly spawned in the other day just to have a quick look. But I spent about 2 or 3 minutes on the ground and then I quit the sim because I had to go to work. So we're going to have a really good look at it when we arrive here today, and you guys can obviously have an opinion in the live chat as well and let me know if you think it's worth the £30, and you can share your thoughts in the live chat too. So it's nice. All Jacks, if you own the Quality Wing 787 P3D already, do you know if we're going to have a discount for the Microsoft Flight Simulator version when it's released? I'm really not sure actually. I would imagine there might be a discount because it's only probably fair to current customers. But it's all down to their own business model, I guess. I think they'd be criticised for not offering a discount. Dan, yes, using live weather. It was a total mess for the first half of the flight, and then it seems to have sorted itself out. Michael, yes, the fly-by-wire is it going to be another 1.5 years away? Probably, yeah. They've done some exterior modelling at the moment, and they're focusing on the cockpit, modelling that at the minute, and then they've pretty much created sort of half the wing and the sharklet, the wing tips that you saw probably in a recent progress thing from fly-by-wire, but it is absolutely miles and miles away still. So the progress images are always really good, but this is why I don't bother doing MSFS news videos, because you'll get a progress update and then you see all these news videos go on YouTube, but actually those aircraft are still 1+ year away from us, so there's no point, in my mind anyway, there's no point talking about it until it's almost at release. Especially these freeware mods, because anything can happen up to that point and it just dies off. Matthew, yeah, I think they are, yeah. PMDG, are they the gods when it comes to study aircraft? Yeah, so high fidelity aircraft, if you want some of the best, like the 737 for example, yeah, they are miles ahead. Very expensive though, but I think they're officially licensed by Boeing too. Just about just started the sim, didn't get an update notification. I'm still on sim update 4. Oh, stay on that then. Look at you. Top descent. Let's try and refresh this METAR again, shall we? OEJN. Nope, it's not refreshed. So approach. So this is what I was saying earlier about performance. We could use flaps 30, but if you do that and you extend that surface area of the flaps at the back of the wing, it should introduce a lot more drag. However, for some reason in the sim, that adds in a whole ton of extra ground effect, more so than they would probably get in real life by a long stretch. So this, and in the 747 as well, my little top tip, until the flight models improve more, click there and click there, and I've just told the aeroplane that our approach speeds I'm going to configure for a flaps 25 final approach. I'm not going to use flaps 30, and my final approach speed is going to be 139 knots. So 144 knots on final approach, and then because this floats a little bit, I will idle the throttle at about 100 foot, just to help kill that speed off a little bit. So I think, from memory, it's got VNAV, an instance of VNAV on here. So I've set 4000, we're on VNAV at the moment. Now if we hit top of descent, which you can see it moving there, in a second the aeroplane should go, right, we're still in VNAV and the pilot wants me to go to 4000. There we go, VNAV path. Down we go. Well, he says down we go, but we're climbing. We'll just give it a second, see what it does. I like to just let things run and just see what happens with the aircraft. Matthew, when's the PMDG 737 coming out? That's forecast around November time, I believe. They're not making a 787, but quality wings are. Enough speed, there we go. The nose is coming down, we've hit top of descent. And now we're descending down to 4,000 feet. But you can see here that we are going like really nose down, so I don't want that. I want that, so I'm going to select a vertical speed instead. Yeah, Fenix Sim are also licensed, but all that means is they've basically paid Airbus to use their name. Doesn't mean that it's going to be particularly good. Oh, look at that. As Juan's saying there. But PMDG is a whole other level. So they get licensed by Boeing to use their name and get access to their manuals and all that other stuff. But, yeah, awesome. Michael, exactly. And that's why I really try and avoid it on this channel. If something's really close to release, yeah, absolutely. I will cover it and I'll talk about it and I'll get everybody excited, because I'll be quite excited myself, especially the A380, that Fenix A320 as well. But yeah, a lot of these projects, the way I look at it is, if you guys want to find out about progress, go direct to the developer. There's no point in me regurgitating what they're telling us all anyway in a video just for me to drive ad revenue, because that's not what I'm about. I love the community aspect of flying on a simulator. You know, I'm just a pilot in a sim, but I just happen to have a YouTube channel as well. So I try and do things differently here. Yeah, just a veteran. I can't believe you've been allowed to boot into update 4 still and not trigger an update. That is glorious. Down we go. 80 track miles. Not sure we're going to... Let's do the 2,200 foot per minute, shall we?
This is German Public Flight Safety Captain speaking. Very shortly beginning our descent. We trust you've enjoyed the flight. Thanks for choosing to fly with us. On behalf of myself and the crew, we'd like to wish you a very pleasant stay and indeed a very safe onward journey. And we'll see you on board again very soon. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we've now commenced our descent, we require that you return to your seat, ensure that your hand baggage is either restowed beneath your seat or in the overhead lockers, your tray table and seat backs are in the upright position, and your seatbelt is securely fastened. Thank you.
بالنظر إلى أننا بدأنا في الهبوط، نطلب منكم أن تعودوا إلى مقاعدكم وتتأكدوا من أن أمتعتكم اليدوية مخزنة إما تحت المقعد وإما في الخزائن العلوية، وأن منضدة الصينية مطوية ومثبتة، وظهر المقعد في وضع قائم، وحزام المقعد مربوط بإحكام. شكرا.
Synaptic simulations are doing progress. Okay, so I mean that looks good. I'm having a look on their Discord at the moment, but again, they are miles and miles away from release. They can render, model the cabins and everything. The model looks beautiful, it looks stunning, but the coding is where they all really start to struggle. Their latest development update from Harsh, their update 4, certainly looks really promising. So they are working on the modelling now. That is the lion's share of the aircraft. So it's all down to whether or not it's going to work. Is that self-loading cargo? No, it's not. It's a little program that's free to download called the Luke Air Tool. and it's pretty good. It's free to use. It's got loads of announcements for loads of different airlines. Orlando Afgeek, hello, welcome. Hope you're okay. Heavy division, indeed, yes. The altitude stuff always trips me up. The scenery from altitude looks like infinite flight. I don't think it looks that bad. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more blurry. But I still think you can really enjoy the sim. You can see now we're starting to descend. So the textures here are now starting to load in. So we're watching the new level of detail changes right in front of us now. We're watching it all happen. That bit there is going to be interesting where that renders in. And we've got DoubleT Jeddah in the distance there as well. I'm making a quick note actually while I remember flaps 25 landing, because otherwise I might deploy 30 and muck it up. Michael, I think this time next year the sim's going to be a real joy to fly. It's still a joy now, I think, to be fair. Captain Longhaul, I've not had any problems with the flight directors or anything like that. It's got to be said. I don't think the top of descent was quite right. Yeah, it's a little bit. The rendering into the ground around us is a bit. When you were kind of watching it happen, it's a little bit rubbish, isn't it? But then once it's loaded in, as we're descending, yeah, it's starting to look really good again. I think their argument is at altitude you don't need the detail, so that's another way of them getting a bit more performance out of the sim. So I can kind of understand why they've done it. I think we're going to have to self-vector at this rate. Actually, where's the charts? I know what we can do. Star. Inbound via METAV. Hold. Whoops. Hold. No. MITAV. Hold at MITAV. Not going to let me do it, is it? New hold. Hold at MITAV. There we go. Oh, that's a bit big. We want inbound course 355 with a left turn. And we want one. Don't want that big a thing. That's huge. 1 million leg time. I think that's down to the fact that we're doing this almost speed. So we will do the DME 20. We'll do. I don't know. I'll do a 4-mile leg. We'll just see what happens here. What's the maximum speed? 210 knots. Whoops, that's the one I want. That's really annoying because my cursor's just disappeared again. That's almost right. Oh, hello. You know what? We're going to execute that. We'll just kick that in. So we're going to hold at MITAV while we descend. We're at max 210 knots at the moment. Just wanted to make sure we got that executed because we were almost at MITAV. So hold at MITAV. When we enter that, that's as best as we're going to do for the time being. But once we enter it, we'll change it as we go as well. And what we'll do is we'll descend in the hold. It's not quite what I wanted out of the hold. Oh, LNAV. We'll manually enter the hold ourselves here, I think. $10,000. Hello. Let's just fight to get this out in a second. So we're going to go down to 4,000. We need to make sure as well. RadNav 1153. ILS hasn't gone in. This is payware scenery. They've not even configured that, so that's interesting. 16 left. 1085. Which is 30 quid, and I've got to do this myself. Okay, that's all that done. We're at flaps 1 at the moment, that's good, that's our speed. Do 1600 foot per minute. So, LNAV, now it's recognised we're in the hold. There we go. So we've started that hold now really nicely. Manually vectored ourselves into it because it wanted us to go to MITAV first. It had done something random then, I think. But we're now flying that hold manually ourselves, automatically. And I've refreshed, now we're at the right speed at 210. I've refreshed that leg time to 1 minute and it looks exactly like the charts. And it's now flying the automated hold itself. And we'll just stay in this hold until we're at 4,000 feet. I'm going to set this as well, 156. And Saudi Arabia down below. Actually, according to this, it wants us out of the hold at 3,000. Gigantic! Hopefully the Heavy Division mod is still working perfectly. Many thanks to Heavy Division. Yeah, no problems so far. We're even flying an automated hold, look. It's an awesome add-on for the sim. Awesome work by Comey, so hats off to you. We all appreciate everything you're doing, of course. There we go. You can see the hold in action now, with a bit of a view out the window as well. Jeddah traffic, Qatar 1188 heavy, 787-10 inbound on the at MITAV, flying a hold at the moment, descending to 4,000 feet in the hold at MITAV, expecting ILS runway 16 left. Afra, hello! Jeddah's your home airport and your father works there, so you'll know it really well if that's the case, and you will be able to tell us if you think it's worth the money or not at £30. It's just over there. So next bit, Asmos. What have we got? ILS 240 for Barrow. Oops. You know what I've also forgotten? QNH 1003. It actually wants us out of the hold at 3,000, but I can see there that we're actually above the glide slope still, so that's all good. Here we go, flying the hold. We're going to go auto brake. Well, let's have a quick look, see. Airport. 16 left. How long is that runway? It's not even going to tell us. Brilliant. Cool. We'll do auto brake 1. Probably use most of the runway to roll out. Arm the speed brake. We're going to go to hold, MITAV, exit hold. It says cancel exit. Now what it's doing is it's basically going to take us out of the hold itself and then continue the next leg. Init ref, approach. So we're going to fly that last leg in the hold. And what do we want? We want Atmos at 3,000. Actually, it says 2,000 on the charts, but we'll do 600 foot per minute. That's all on ready to go, so that's complete. It appears to have lost its way. Let's go legs. See if that wakes it up. Seems to have drifted ever so slightly away. Afra, another have I. That seems like that's bugged out a little bit. Exit armed. Jeddah traffic, Qatar 1188 heavy, exiting the hold at Mitav, inbound via Asmos for the ILS, runway 16 left to land. Jeddah traffic. Where's the QNH? 1003. Should probably set that here as well. My standby instruments set. Okay, here we go. We're back along the road. Missed approach, climb on course 156 degrees, which is runway heading to 6 DME, turn left to intercept the radial of 135, and turn left following the 13 DMER JDW, turn right to intercept 053 JDW, radial to IMDAP and hold, climbing to 4,000 feet. So our missed approach altitude is 4,000 feet. If I zoom out slightly, it's not triggered, but it would trigger for us if we have to do a missed approach. And all we've got to do now is land and check out the new DoubleT scenery for Jeddah. £30 on Sim Market. Is it worth it? We're about to find out. My gut instinct says no, from what some of you guys have been saying in the comments. DDY Ice, we are landing now. Just monitoring what this is doing here. Should be exiting the hold itself now, once we hit Mitav, which is basically now. Don't forget to give us a like while you're here, guys. Let's get that turn there, just ready in case. Ah, Asmos, beautiful. Whoops. What was it? 156, wasn't it? Something like that. And we want to go. ILS is being picked up there as well. Matthew, sadly no. Yeah, 156. Maha, just try and delete them and reinstall them fresh. So 176 for flap 17. How many stages have we got left? 1, 2, 3 stages of flaps left, and we've got 15 miles to go. Remember, we're doing a flaps 25 approach for this. We could vacate, or probably going to vacate at Mike 3, which is all the way down the, about 3/4 of the way down the runway on the charts. So quickly looking at Volanta while we establish, Navigraph, sorry. We're going to be vacating on the right hand side of the screen there. Alright, let's do this. First Sim Update 5 landing with some payware scenery since the update. Let's reset the views, get that all ready to go, get it set up how I like it, like so. Approach mode's armed, flight directors are on, speed's good, let's bring that down a couple more knots. Laps 18. It is a desert, or a desert. Matthew, good to hear. So we're established now. Jeddah traffic, Qatar 1188, heavy established, 16 left to land, 6 miles. Glide slopes coming in on the PFD there, hopefully you guys can see that well. If not, I'll zoom in. Got glide slope armed just here as well. Set that to 4,000, ready for missed approach. 10 miles to go actually, says it there. There's the runway. There's the first glimpse of the scenery. Next stage of flaps. One stage left. 9 miles. Jeets, yeah, we're in the heavy division mod, and it's working quite nicely for us, to be fair. Get down. Here we go. Yep, you know what, I've forgotten. Let's do this real quick. That drone camera is a really bad bug. That'll do for a screenshot, I think. That looks great. Down below, look at that, it's beautiful. How are we doing? Gears down. Let's go down to 144. That's our final stage of flaps going in now. What views have I got? Oh, look at that. I think that's nicer though. That one. Gotta get them for the Instagram. What's 30 bucks? It is, well actually it's probably about 35 bucks US dollars. It's this scenery. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I hope it is. It looks alright. It looks like there's a lot included, but it's all airport related only. Which for £30 I think is quite steep for Microsoft Flight Simulator these days. Quick final check. 4,000, that's set, that's looking good. We're on the glide slope. Okey-dokey. Reset the view. My throttles. My controls. So I'm flying the plane now. Bina Rona, welcome. Doesn't look like we've quite established as nicely as I'd liked. Tiny little correction. Speed 146.
500. 400. 300. 200.
Pappies and the glide slope are off as well, which is not acceptable for payware.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
It'll reverse thrust out, look. There we go. whistling down the runway. Love those animations. And I've got Volanta on as well, so we'll be able to see what my foot per minute thing was as well. Alright, where are we going to go for stance? Prince. MBS Gaming, thanks. Jeddah traffic, Qatar 1188, heavy vacating at Mike 3 and taxi to Apron Alpha. Not quite sure where the stands are, but we will pick a stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
So I don't want to crash.
Ensure that you
Where are we
have
going?
all your personal belongings with you as you leave the aircraft. Also remember that smoking is only permitted in designated
God,
areas.
keybinds.
You may now use your mobile and electronic devices if you wish to do so. We hope that you will include Qatar Airways in your future travel plans. To book your next flight, please visit
There we go.
QatarAirways.com.
Cleaned up the airframe.
On behalf of Qatar Airways, the One World Alliance, and the rest of the cabin crew team, we wish you a pleasant stay or a safe journey to your final destination. Qatar Airways going places together. Thank you.
So we'll park up. There's a load of stuff over there as well we'll go and have a look at. This looks like it's default taxiway that they've added scenery on top of, and that is even the custom sign. Are they default signs as well? They look like default signs. Again, if that's the case, that's not acceptable for £30. Certainly looks like it, doesn't it? Ren, hello, welcome. Wrong way. Are there any marketplace downloads that I should not get right now? Fly-by-wire 320 seems to be broken. Do not use the fly-by-wire mod in the marketplace. You need to make sure that you've got the latest development branch from their own direct installer. So flybywiresim.com. Yeah, all of this looks default, except for the terminal buildings, which for £30 is just not good at all. That's almost offensive. I mean, look at those, the little blue struts and stuff there. Yeah, Seychelles was about £25, and you got 15 airports or something like that, and you got a whole load of islands and everything else. Yeah, Juan, it's not great, is it? There's a couple of custom textures and things, so now we're getting into like the meat of where the terminal is. Brilliant. Got the old 787 taxiing issue. With the minimum power sign. Come on. There we go. Default jetways. Come on. £30. That is a lot of money for this. I'm probably going to want the wider arc, I think. Yeah, it's a bit naughty, Monty. It's even at sort of, I mean, Mako Simulations charges £10 for Manchester, and that is cheap for what you get. This is extortionate and rather expensive. for what you get. Oh well, we'll park up at Alpha 13 here. I mean, even these, they've not bothered to get rid of these. That's not acceptable. There's nothing else to install. When I installed this into my community folder, there was nothing else except for just the folder to extract and click and drag. Absolute madness. Yeah, them jet bridges, what is that all about? Oh well, parked up nice. Oh jeez, yeah, but we were already on it, so it's too late. We need to get the APU on, but we've got that issue with that bug. Oh, perhaps not. Did Asobo fix it? Hamza, welcome. We're just about to check out this this preview. GD, yes. So DoubleT sent it to me for free, on the basis that they asked for basically a review and for me to talk about it and share my thoughts with everybody, which I'm always happy to do. I've worked with a lot of developers, of course. You guys know that. Mako Simulations, Aerosoft, Just Sim, Just Flight. But that drone cam, Asobo need to fix that in the hotfix for the hotfix as well. What do we want? Catering, baggage, jetway. Get that moving. Right, let's go and have a look. Did I turn the beacon off? No. OCD kicking in there. Seatbelt signs are off. Good. Away we go. I mean, like this part here looks like it's been done nicely, but the tarmac looks like it's still default tarmac texturing, if that makes sense. I mean, the model itself looks fantastic. It was sweeping curves and things. Can't replay it, sadly. But you get up to the textures here, and I mean, for £30, come on, that is not good. To use default jetways, and there, yeah, that some developers go, we don't know how to do it. Well, they kind of criticise the SDK, saying the SDK doesn't allow for custom jetways, but Mako Simulations and other developers have done custom jetways. Oh wow, look at that. They've not even terraformed. This is 30 quid. We could literally go underneath the building. Gooey. That's madness. I mean, from an exterior point of view, look, when you're sort of further away, it looks lovely. I mean, look at that sweeping texturing, and I'd imagine that took them a very long time. DoubleT are the developers. I mean, that itself, I'm sure you guys will agree, that looks fantastic. But it's when you're actually then using the scenery, because you're not going to taxi with the camera all the way up here. I think that looks quite nice. But I mean, yeah, default jetways and texturing and things, that's not acceptable. What's all this over here? Where's the old drone camera? Let's get that speed up. Whoosh. They've put in a bit of a road network look as well by the looks of it. They're kind of feeding in motorway system into the airport, which is a kind of nice attempt, but then if you're going to that level of detail, you can't put in slides as roads. Especially when they've actually then detailed the doors a little bit as well. But I mean, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Anything that looks a bit low quality stands out like a sore thumb. I would not pay £30 for this. I wouldn't pay. It sounds really harsh, and I don't want to be harsh, because I'm grateful that they sent us a copy, of course. But default taxiways, default lighting, default signage, lack of terraforming, gaps underneath the terminal, and low quality texturing is not good for £30. It's not acceptable. Yeah. I mean, from the distance, the tower looks rather wonderful. I mean, look at that, lovely lines. But then again, you get close, and it's actually floating in midair, like it's doing like a week in Jeddah, and then it's shooting off back to space. They're all floating under that. It's like watching like something like the Star Wars fleet. I mean, the buildings look fantastic. The modelling is rather good. I'll check out the night lighting in a second. But when we were on approach, I noticed all this, and I kind of wanted to have a look at this. I assume this is like a bit of a cargo area. Oh, it looks like another passenger terminal. It's kind of like half the airport's missing, which doesn't make any sense. There's nothing else for me to download and install. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. So perhaps Afra, you live in Jeddah, I think you were saying. Perhaps you can maybe shed a bit of light as to what this is supposed to be. It's not often that I'm negative with scenery. This is a really poor effort, I think. Kind of disappointingly so, if I'm honest. I'm not sure who that is. Oh, I see. They've gone to random effort, like doing this. Oh, the Hajj terminal. I don't get it. It's bizarre, isn't it? Right, you guys wanted to see it at night time, so let's zip the time forwards. Looks like default night lighting as well, doesn't it? Where's that Hajj terminal? Not even lit. And it doesn't even look like a terminal from where it's all laid out, to be fair. The flood lighting looks good. Just there. This is all very default. Matte shaking scenery for £30. money, grab it. I mean, this is the terminal at night time then. So, what have we got here? I mean, from a distance, you don't notice anything. But then as I was coming a bit close up here then, I was like, what is that on the windows? Really bad emissives. And then windows, what is that all about? This is a £30 piece of scenery. FSDG have made a whole Seychelles, 16 islands for £25 and 16 airports and stuff like that included. And it's for 25 quid, and it is truly stunning work. And then Mako Simulations has created an airport. It's probably the size of this part of the terminal, not counting all the hard stuff and the additional runway. So Manchester's, it's quite huge. Yeah, as GD you're saying there, for £30 you could literally get Mako Simulation Manchester and Birmingham and FSDG Seychelles, which is, they're all fantastic. This is, you know what this reminds me of? When UK 2000 started doing scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they very quickly just ported a load of stuff from FSX or X-Plane or P3D or whatever it was that they ported it from, and really bad texturing. And the Luton Airport that they released had they'd done it so badly that the buses that were driving around Luton Airport still had the Bristol Airport stuff as well. But hey, you know, DoubleT asked us to have a little look, and I thought, why not? I'd give an offer, like a genuine opinion of it. Default jetways, what on earth? I mean, on a positive note, the 787 heavy division worked beautifully. You know what? Even the jetways aren't even aligning. Look at that. 30 quid scenery, and they've not even bothered with the jetways. That's a disgrace. Anyway, let's go back in here. It's safer in here. This is working wonderfully. So if you've got Premium Deluxe and you want to go through and do a load of cool stuff, then I would probably, if you've got the 787, make sure you've updated to the latest dev branch, and then you've got all this to enjoy. It is absolutely wonderful. Would I recommend purchasing this? No way. It's £30. That's a lot of money in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Bearing in mind, you could literally almost get the Aerosoft CRJ. Thanks to DoubleT for sending me a copy for free. I appreciate the opportunity to have a look at it at least and share my thoughts with you guys. It's been interesting reading all of your comments actually in the comments below as well. But like you're saying, Birdman, there, because it's a digital product, if you purchase this and then you're having sort of like you're discovering it for the first time, having purchased it, and you've not seen something like a video like I've just done here, stream into this, yeah, you wouldn't be able to get your money back if you didn't want it anymore. So yeah, madness. Hope you've all enjoyed this little live stream anyway. A couple of hours, well, 3 hours still actually. It's quite a long time. We've been in the Heavy Division 787. We're on the VATSIM network, so we've had issues with the temperatures of the live weather, the altitude issue with VATSIM at the moment as well, which has been quite interesting. But yeah, DoubleT Jeddah. I wouldn't bother. I think there's a freeware Riyadh actually. Let me have a quick look on flightsim.to. There is a freeware Riyadh, I believe, which is also Saudi Arabia. I mean, this looks like it's on the same level that Doha was, the Doha Airport where we departed, and that was pretty naff as well. But that was free, so you don't mind that much. But would I buy this and sort of spend money on it? Definitely not, sadly. Thanks everybody for tuning in anyway, and I hope you found it useful. Hope you found it enjoyable and appreciated the honesty as well in relation to my thoughts with this. Loads of new subscribers today, so very warm welcome to all of you, of course. Thank you to Simpilot847 for your super chat, and David as well for your super chat, supporting the stream with your tips. Really appreciate that. Don't forget, while you're here, before you head off to enjoy the rest of your day, make sure you hit subscribe down below. Click the notification bell so you don't miss out any of the live streams, including one tomorrow. We've got some beautiful scenery in Heraklion, or the Greek islands, to go and explore. And make sure you give the video a like as well. Oh, Ashley, good shout. Valanta. I was getting really sidetracked by this scenery. Right, there we go. So there was our little route. There's our standard instrument departure. Quite a cool little route there. Passed over Bahrain, over Riyadh, and then descending down. You can see there we've flown that hold. And there is our touchdown. So 1.31 G at minus 192 foot per minute. So yeah, not too bad at all. Quite smooth. So happy with that. 346 passengers apparently, according to Valanta, and a fuel burn of 11,100 kilograms. Tomorrow we've got the Drzecki Designs Krakow, which is incredibly stunning for scenery. We're going to be heading from there, Wizz Air Real Ops, to Heraklion. We've got the new Just Sim Heraklion Airport released very recently for Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to go and check that out as well. And early thoughts, I spawned in very briefly again yesterday just to have a quick look to see if it was working or if it would give me a crash. And it looks stunning, as you could probably just see from the thumbnail for tomorrow's live stream. But thank you all for watching. Thanks to all of our channel members, our bronze, silver and gold frequent flyers, as always, for supporting the streams with your memberships. And I hope to see you all tune in tomorrow. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.